Well, we got to talk about what is randomized, including the overworld map, the contents of the treasure chests and search spots, the locations of the towns and caves, the weapon and armor shop contents, the enemy locations, spells, and abilities, as well as the order in which they learn their spells. And we are underway. Let's see what we have in the throne room.
All right, 23 HP, 21 MP. Good start here. They do have an herb. They got that fighter's ring. No 3-strength start or 4-strength start for us today. They got a key. Look at the spells. They have return and the heal spell. They are going to be able to keep that magic key, and we're going to just have to see what they do with it. Looks like up2ng, wow, taking the exploration start, finds a cave in a town. Meanwhile, Jjschmidt going to go ahead and try to take on this Drakey, but even that fighter's ring not helping out too much here. Does 3 damage over 2 attacks, and wow, what a start. Oh my goodness.
Well, this presentation of Garenham here, this creates a couple of options with that one key. So I have a feeling up2ng, he's probably going to go back to the castle here, save with the king, and, well, you can check out what's in the treasury, you could check out what's behind Garenham. If any of those have access to another key, then we're looking pretty good. And here we've got, oh wow, the fairy flute, we've got a cursed belt, we've got the dragon scale, and fairy water. So not the greatest of treasuries rather, and JJ gonna reset. up2ng opts to do the same.
And that makes a lot of sense. They decided, up2ng decided to go ahead and take the gamble. He's like, look, I'm here. I know I can get that key right away. I know I've got multiple options. I don't need to save first. I can check this. If there's a key here, then I get to move on and save myself about 30 seconds. If there's not, well, then you both just reset. And you know, obviously these two runners, they're not looking at each other's screens. They're focusing on their own race, but I'm fairly certain they're both aware that this is kind of the meta right now. This is what they're going to do here. And now we see diverging strategies as, again, 3 different options here that they could choose. Jjschmidt choosing to go down and check out this swamp cave here, up2ng going north to take his gamble in Garenham.
Oh, and we've got a werewolf with Hurtmore, a late-game enemy with a late-game spell. JJ going to reset once again. And up2ng, well, this is going to be an interesting decision if he wants to reset, because here comes level 2.
Well, that didn't take too long for him, fortunately. 11 2 speed, 5 HP, and 1 MP. That 11 power is actually a pretty freaking big deal, and so it's really good that, you know, even if he does end up resetting here, at least he knows that 11 power is waiting for him just around the corner.
Well, if this NPC gets out of the way, he's going to go ahead and use the key here in Garenham, and we'll see what the 3 chests are and what awaits in the back of there. If there's a magic key here, then this is a heck of a play. There's another cursed belt, there's a torch, and some money.
Not checking the cave in the back is a little bit surprising. Maybe gonna go ahead and gamble on, I'm surprised. Okay, here we go. He wants to check for a hand axe, because if there's a hand axe here, that is huge.
And there is.
Plus 15 attack power here for up2ng. That's going to seal it. He is going to go ahead and trade in this key for an early game advantage. He still has enough money to pick up a dragon scale. Going to go ahead and pick up a couple extra torches, and maybe, no, he's just loading up on torches here. This is interesting play, given the fact that he's got so much attack power.
Well, up to 35 attack power, so he's guaranteed to one-shot ghosts, drakeys, red slimes, and slimes. And we've got Breckenary over on Jjschmidt's side.
Oh, wait, he's got at least 1 curse belt. Yeah, he sold 1 curse belt, so he knew that he didn't necessarily need to hold on to any of that chump change he had sitting around in his pocket. He's like, no, let me go ahead and get rid of this curse belt. I'll have plenty of money, maybe fight a few battles, and go ahead and get that money back for a full set of herbs. But yeah, chat, notice he never checked the back. That is a little bit of an interesting decision.
Oh, and scorpions have hurt more. Now, I'm kind of surprised of him throwing the torch at the Scorpion, as with that hand axe and being at level 2, his attack range is stronger than throwing a torch. He can attack for 6 to 13, whereas the torch is only, 6 to 9, I believe?
Yeah, that's correct. I wonder if this isn't almost because, to be perfectly honest, and, we're both pretty experienced runners ourselves here, I can't think of a seed in recent memory that had this many critical decisions to make in the very early going. You almost wonder if there isn't some sort of decision, like analysis paralysis going on here. Just too many things to think about, too many possibilities all at once might just be a little bit overwhelming.
As cerebral as the two of them are, that's not too surprising, although here comes level 3 now for up2ng. No strength, no agility, 9 hit. Oh, but there's Hurtmore. Well,
And
it just sped up.
Yeah, this just sped up a little bit, and that's a little bit unfortunate. Again, I think it's a little bit late for up2ng to consider a reset, but that, if I'm being perfectly honest, that kind of neutralizes the hand axe advantage.
Yeah, at this point now, JJ is going into the tablet cave. No enemy encounters, but there's a walk to one treasure chest, and we'll see what it is here. And it's the silver harp, one of the essential items needed in the game.
Alrighty, and it's always nice to get that silver harp before you find the Staff of Rain cave. Does save you that extra trip, does save you having to remember where it is. Meanwhile, level 5 over here for up2ng, 10 more power, 11, 1, and 4. Not bad, getting a little bit of an experience lead here.
But right now, the differential is that key. JJ will be able to cast Hurtmore, maybe not on this Wraith Knight here, but with that utilization of Hurtmore is going to be able to get gold to purchase more keys. up2ng, having used that key, is going to have to either find Rimmeldar or find a magic key in a treasure chest somewhere.
What was that? So the cave that Jjschmidt just cleared up there, that was that tablet cave that up2ng, I believe, has not explored yet? Is that correct?
That was the cave just south of Garenham.
Okay, so so up2ng is, he's gonna have to find a free key somewhere in another cave, or go ahead and find that town of Rimmeldar, and Jjschmidt now going to see the Hurtmore for himself, and it's going to be no problem for him to get up money to buy more keys. So a little bit of a difference in decision making. We'll have to see if up2ng can overcome what is right now a very slight deficit.
So up2ng, recognizing it's the tablet cave and didn't feel like exploring now. He figures, all right, it's close to the castle. I'll wait till I get outside, so that saves me about 20 seconds of walking. And here's a Wyvern, a great hurtmoreable enemy. And this won't get him to level 6, but it'll be pretty close. And here's the town of Cole.
One free item here. Going to go ahead and bypass that weapon and armor shop. Wants to see what the free item is. And it is the Death Necklace. Not something that helps you out immediately, but also, whoa!
A gold grind, yes. That is an interesting and, tile grind.
That is an extremely heads-up play. So for those who don't know what's going on in the audience, when you pick up the Death Necklace, you can do a short, a kind of short gold grind, a cheap gold grind. And I never in my wildest dreams would I have ever thought that you could do that on the coal tile. That is extremely heads up.
Yeah, I have seen that work in the past, and it's very much a heads up play. There's a reason that these are 2 of the top 10 runners right here.
Exactly. Now, one thing too that this means for Jjschmidt is that if he can start heading east and head over there to Cole, well, he's not going to have to worry about key money anymore. It's literally sitting there on the ground for him.
Yeah, oh, and here's an armored knight that might it does one shot up to NG.
Yeah, the HP growth's a little bit slow here. Looks like 31 max for Jjschmidt. So even if that had been Erdrick's armor, probably not going to be able to survive one attack there from that armored knight. So a little bit unfortunate there. But again, everything we found so far has been pretty close to start, so not too far away.
JJ wanted to hurt more of that metal scorpion, but with no MP, 0 is less than 5, at least last I checked.
Yeah, unfortunately, no ability to go into the negatives here and pay it back later. But Motel 6 right nearby, going to be able to get back out there and maybe get some revenge here pretty quickly. And this Drakima, I believe, going to get level 6 here for up2ng. Let's see what it gives.
Yes, it does. And at the same time, so does JJ. 0 power, 2 speed, 10 hit points, 2 magic points, and a new spell. I think I saw Repel.
I think Sleep was a new one as well. But yes, both of those spells very, very useful. That Sleep, very useful for a few monsters that might want to take you out. Some of those Hawksex monsters, thinking specifically of the Stone Man here.
So JJ now going to purchase a couple of magic keys here. We'll only have enough for 2.
Now, we saw JJ go through this swamp cave before, and he got sent back by a werewolf with Hurtmore, but with a Hurtmore of his own in his back pocket here, could get his revenge. Not a guaranteed one-shot, but here we go.
Meanwhile, here's level 7 over on up2ng's side. 2 power, 0 agility, 1 hit point, 0 magic points. Empty Eye loves it.
Oh, wow. He just barely missed getting the Hurtmore on the one-shot on the werewolf, but survived the return shot. Did get his revenge. I think he thought about maybe going for a physical attack, but with no weapon in hand, he just went for the extra Hurtmore, and it landed.
Oh.
And oh, no.
Well, that's a short trip.
I don't remember what Swamp Cave mirrors exactly. I want to say Grave Top Floor. It's either Grave Top Floor or Mountain Top Floor, but we know we're going to be seeing more Fun Police in the very near future.
All right, so he is going to raid the treasury and still has enough gold to buy 1 more magic key, so there'll still be 2 in the inventory.
Going to go ahead and keep a close eye on that. Doesn't want to run out of keys here. That would partially negate some of his advantage here. And again, right here, up2ng making use of that sleep spell. Unfortunately, not working out for him immediately. Not guaranteed to stay asleep on the turn that he attacks. We'll see if he can get some benefit here.
Oh, and a nice crit, and it's enough to take out the Droll Magi.
Excellent heads up played there, making use of the last dregs of his MP. Gonna try to make the hero walk and see if he can find himself another town. Literally just dragging his feet over this map, and I think, unless he's got another herb in his back pocket, might get stopped by this swamp here.
Yep, he ran out of exploration.
A little bit unfortunate there. Meanwhile, on Jjschmidt's side, has found that town of Garenham, found that gold, wants to go spend it. It's burning a hole in his pocket. The cave in the back goes unchecked up till now. I am certain, though, that once Jjschmidt checks out this item shop and gets himself some supplies here, we're going to finally see what's waiting back there.
So up2ng realizing there's coal.
Now, a thought just occurred to me, and this would be very unfortunate if true. I don't know exactly how the logic works here, but I'm wondering. We had a key at the start, and we had return. So the seed assumes that you can hold on to that key. And up2ng has done quite a bit of exploration here. Did just get another level, some nice stats there, but could he be locked out of Swamp Cave in the back of Tantagel Castle? I am actually not sure.
Well, wouldn't it be interesting if the back of Garenham here happened to lead to Swamp South?
It would. That looks like Garenham. Well, that looks like Garen's grave to me. So a little bit of a vanilla thing going on here. But so no, not linking Tantagel with Garenham in this particular seed. And we'll see here up2ng still trying to explore, still trying to find something out on the map that's going to help him here.
We've got some big bucks to start. We've got an empty chest and a set of wings. So that was an herb, a set of wings, and some money in the top part of the grave. And we're getting a note here from the creator of the game, McGrew, that the randomizer doesn't assume that you'll keep that key.
That's good to know, and Lorgon also confirming that it will always put Rimuldar on the first continent, so we know that somewhere out there, up2ng will be able to find Rimuldar, will be able to get himself some keys. It's just a matter of when. So yes, that's good to know.
Oh, and adding this version only makes sure that you have access to Rimuldar. Future versions will also see if one is accessible in a cave. Interesting, as up2ng takes a death and is back to the start. Jjschmidt rather working on a skeleton.
So now as things stand about 17 minutes into the seed, it looks like we do have a bit of an experience and equipment lead here for up2ng. He did again. I saw lots of double digits there on that level 8, and with that axe, that hand axe, and that chainmail, going to be able to do a lot more physical damage to things here. Going to be able to withstand more damage than his opponent Jjschmidt. But again, lacking those keys, lacking that knowledge. Hello, here is a new town. There it is.
There's Rimuldar. So advantage negated.
up2ng choosing. I was looking at his experience.
Gold.
I was like, wait a second.
He's looking for some more hurt-morable enemies to get a little bit of a gold acquisition, and once he gets up to about 318, he's going to go on up there and get 6 keys. But first, here's another town, and it is Cantlin.
That is going to be a lot of information right there at up2ng's fingertips. As soon as he can pick up some keys, he can go check out the shops in Cantlin. He can go look for the coordinates, and of course check that inn shop that inn chest in Rimuldar, and then maybe go back and check out the grave in Garenham as well. So yes, now with that experience advantage, just needing the money to get those keys, and then he is going to have a decent advantage here probably in the next few minutes or so.
Well, here comes level 8 for Jjschmidt. There's the 11 power, 8 speed, 12 hit points, 2 magic points.
I would say the stats are coming in pretty good here, maybe lacking a little bit on the MP side, but plenty enough to fling hurt more as at anything that might run in their path. The HP is looking pretty nice here, and I would say now that up2ng has access to keys, what I would be thinking about at this point is, when does Healmore show up? Because when Healmore shows up, look at this golem here that's going to block up2ng a little bit and actually is going to send him back to start. But once... Little unfortunate there, but once you get access to that Healmore spell, that hand axe suddenly increases in value a lot, I think.
So more keys being bought on Jjschmidt's side. up2ng knowing where Rimuldar is, but needs some money. Erdrick's Bank not in this game.
No, unfortunately, we do know that no link to Garenham. Sometimes when you do have that swamp cave that funnels you to the back of Garenham, you can get that gold grind going. Level 9 for up2ng, nothing special. I do believe I saw 1311, if I'm not mistaken.
You are not mistaken. That was the paltry level 9. Now, a question in chat, can he still pick up money from the floor in coal? Yeah, that is a possibility, but given the enemies that are there, it's a matter of, all right, how much do you take? How much time do you spend on it? And up2ng is somebody who is very time conscientious. He looks at the time spent at a particular level and is constantly looking to gain more levels at a time, and that grind tends to be a focus and sometimes too much of a focus. But in this case, it's definitely something he wants to keep an eye on, as he's got a roughly 400 experience lead at the moment.
It is something interesting to think about, though, because unlike your traditional gold grind where, you know, you max out that chest flag bite, you take that intentional death, go all the way back to start, you don't have to set this particular grind up. And so I almost wonder if you see that silver shield, knowing that there's no other way to reasonably get your hands on it, do you still consider... I think it would take maybe about 5 minutes to do that. It might be a consideration if the conditions are right.
Yeah, we're getting confirmation from chat it would be nearly 5 minutes, and there's the Stones of Sunlight in Rimmildar, so that is required. And just enough gold to stay at the inn. And there is the lovely tune of the flute.
Yeah, that flute coming in clutch there. up2ng probably wishing he had it when he got bopped. He was, I believe, just one step away from finding out what that cave is. Probably going to be one of the 3 old men out there, or potentially that mountain cave, which we have not found yet, but not quite sure yet. up2ng now going to go see if there are any coordinates.
We'll see. Having to get past these barrier tiles that do 15 hit points of damage per step. And here we go. Thou must go and fight. There are no coordinates.
So now, I believe at this point we've seen 2 cursed belts. I believe we've seen one in the treasury and one in the back of Garenham. So that to me highly suggests that with no item on the map, 1 item in coal, most likely something waiting for them in the town of Hawksness.
I believe that is the case, and here comes rather disappointing level 9 for JJ. There's that 1311.
Little bit disappointing, but again, the stats so far have been pretty good. Not quite a struggle bus of a seed here. up2ng now finding that swamp cave. Going to go ahead and see what is guarding the princess today, and oh boy.
Well, a death traded for knowledge.
Now I'm starting to wonder, someone had said in chat a while ago if Jjschmidt had checked that spike tile before. I wasn't sure. I wasn't exactly tracking his movements. I thought he was just walking through. I think he managed to walk through once before, running into some werewolves. We'll have to see here. Looks like up2ng going straight back, going to go through, wants to go check out that second continent. Maybe there are not fun places in here. Maybe it was just that spike tile.
It's entirely possible. And now to the other side. Oh, we've got some swamp here to the south. And unless there's something to the west here, it doesn't look like there's much on the other side of this swamp cave. Well, I Obviously noted that there is something here to the west. Oh, look, there's another cave.
And I think that just leaves one more. No, that leaves two more caves to find for all runners here. We do know the location of one, but not its contents yet. So this is the Shrine Cave here. So a little bit of mirrored or kind of opposite knowledge here. JJ Schmidt knows where that harp is. up2ng does not. He's got the stones. Found that Shrine Cave, needs to find the harp later, but will know where to turn that in once he gets it.
And unless there's something on the other side of that swamp, that looks to be it for this back continent here.
Swamp Cave living up to its namesake, this particular seed.
Blue Dragon taking up2ng out, and... well, Jay Coper in chat noting the seed could use more armored knights. You called it, you got it.
Be careful what you wish for, although in this case, JJ Schmidt, I believe for the first time this seed is going to take the experience lead. Leather armor, allowing him to barely survive that hit, and he pays off for him to the tune of 172 experience points. Let's see if he can do it again.
And he does, and this is going to leave him very close to level 10. A little less than 30 experience away.
Just like that, closing in on a level lead on up2ng's side, did go back to Rimildar, is going to find the grave. Wraith Knight getting a little bit of revenge there. He had hurt more at a few in the past. Now here's one going to fire off a hurt more at him, but not enough to finish him off. So he does pick up some experience for himself, going to make his way to these top three chests. What do we have here?
Should be some money, an herb, and some wings.
All right, things you're not quite happy to see does make it a little bit more likely that you're going to find, something important. Obviously, the sword, the armor, and the token still out there to find. Two more chests here, but level 10 for JJ Schmidt.
Whoo! 14 power, and it kind of peaked there.
9 MP, not too shabby. Going to go ahead and throw probably two more hurt mores into the back pocket. But yes, the strength is coming quickly. And indeed, that heal more spell, when it does show up, is going to be extremely valuable, as they will have, they both are sitting on a hand axe. They're going to have that power. Oh, up2ng taking the gamble. He landed the hurt more. I think that thing can have max 7 HP. Rolls the 6. Gets sent back to start. Little bit unlucky there.
Oh, Wraiths with the DL2 breath.
Banking on that 14 power being enough to just one-shot it. Maybe didn't have the MP, or maybe just didn't want to spend the hurt more. And again, gambles on the strength not paying off for both our runners simultaneously.
And up2ng tried to go back through the back of Tantagel, but ran out of keys, so back to Rimildar we go.
That's another one of those things that's very important to keep track of. Maybe not the hugest time loss here. Is going to go ahead and walk back towards Rimildar. Maybe even going to take a peek at that cave that I think was just to the north, the one that he got blocked out of about a few minutes ago.
Well, I believe at this point it could only be the Mountain Cave, the Vanilla Stones with Sunlight Cave, or the Rainbow Drop Cave.
Mountain Cave would be a very nice find here. Basically, 5 easy chests, easy in quotation marks, of course, assuming that no nasty monsters wait inside. With that hurt more spell in their back pocket, if up2ng decides to go back and makes it there, should be okay. But no, going to go ahead and hit that return, wants to get back to Swamp Cave immediately. Well,
I wonder if now he bypasses the Tablet Cave again. I think up2ng is waiting until he gets the spell of outside, whichever level that may be, before traversing that tablet cave.
Yeah, he doesn't want to. I believe it takes about 45 seconds to make that trip 2 ways, and with the outside, it takes a little less than 20. So, and little beknownst to him, it's going to be actually very efficient because he can get, once he finds that token and then goes back there with the outside spell, knows where that shrine cave is, going to be a quick couple of turn-ins for him once he does make that call.
Now, we're a half hour in. I don't believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe either of our runners have seen Charlotte Castle.
Nope, the goal is not quite in sight for either of our runners. So gonna go ahead and need to do a little bit more exploration before that. And oh, did I just see another DL2 breath?
Yeah, this is this is not looking good for when they do find Charlock.
DL2 breath and Charlock, not something you want to see. Star Wyverns, particularly, one of the enemies that you might like to, if you try to fight your way down. Star Wyverns, normally one of those things you just hack to pieces like butter with the Erdrick sword, but not so friendly today, unfortunately.
So now here comes level 10 for up2ng. Now trailing by 279, 279 experience, now increased by another 172.
Jjschmidt settling in for a grind here. Interesting choice. Might be thinking about looking for that heal more spell.
Just able to hang on there against that armored knight.
Thy wit and courage have served thee well indeed. 15 more power coming at level 11. What a heads-up choice there, recognizing the how many armored knights he was getting. Picks up the quick level, and oh boy, here we go.
Well, that was rather fortunate on Jjschmidt's part, as he only had, about 28 HP at that point? With the 35 defense that he had, the Armored Knight can hit from 21 to 43. So more likely than not, JJ was not going to survive that second attack from the Armored Knight.
And we definitely saw him take a pause there and weigh his options, and I think he felt, no, I'm pot committed here at this point. I believe that might have been a back attack there that reduced him down to that level, but he said, all right, I'm pot committed, let's go for it. And sometimes when you just go all in, it works out for you. It definitely did for JJ here.
Oh, up2ng now with the Hurtmore on the... Oh, here we go again. He's going to attack. 16, though, is going to do enough this time.
That 14 power at level 10 paying off big here, is able to just go ahead and pick that off. Gets to the bottom, looks for his reward.
So, a pair of magic keys deep in Garen's grave. The irony.
Got the key for the door that he had to spend to get down here, and another key just for his troubles. Maybe a little bit of taunting for, unfortunately, forgetting about those keys earlier in the seed. But now, as up2ng kills the wizard trying to get the death warp.
Hey, what's a bonus 120 experience? Why not?
Oh, absolutely. No, I just thought it was funny that he's pacing back and forth wanting to die, and he gets the level anyway. But no, seriously, Mountain Cave is looking pretty loaded right about now, I think.
Well, potentially. I'm just kind of checking through everything here. I mean, Erdrick's token has to be either in one of those 5 chests, in the Vanilla Stones of Sunlight Cave, or in the search spot in Hawksness.
still looking for that sword and that armor as well. Now, of course, especially given what we've seen so far, werewolves with hurt more, star wyverns with the DL2 breath, armored knights all around. If this is armor in Sherlock, we are dwindling our options down little by little. That would be... oof, is the only word that I have.
There's level 11 for up to NG, and there's a torch in the Vanilla Stones of Sunlight Cave, so unless Hawksness has the token, then yes, Mountain Cave does have the potential to be loaded.
And again, I have to think, based on what we've seen so far, that basically makes that cave up there, again, I do believe it's just north of Rimuldar, the one that up2ng got blocked out of not that long ago. That narrows it down to either Mountain Cave or the Jerk.
Yeah. And up to NG having a little bit of trouble. He's trying to get away from this armored knight. I guess trying to preserve a little bit of MP.
Yeah, not sure exactly what was going on there. Maybe wanting to test out his agility or... oh, right. Yes, he was trying to use that heal spell, use that chainmail, maybe what a little agility he had to try to get enough HP to withstand 2 attacks, but no such luck, unfortunately. Thought there might have been a possibility here. Jjschmidt closing in on level 12 here. No, yeah, I thought he was going to maybe grind for it, but no. Runs into another armored knight, probably still in that same zone. Got the one hurt more, going to throw out another. He does land. Let's see what level 12 has in store for us. They've been big so far.
Let's see here. 3 power, 4 speed, 8 hit points, 5 magic points. Meh at best. But you know what? I mean, there have been some big strength gains, and that's about it.
Yeah, I think when you get the back-to-back, 29 power on 2 levels, maybe you don't expect to see that train keep going. I wouldn't say, definitely better than that level 9 at the very least.
Oh yeah, 1-3, 1-1. But that is the magic of the randomizer. Sometimes you get those big levels, and sometimes Empty Eye is thrilled.
Beta Strep noting in chat, if they see that level 16 hurt more, it took a long, long time to get through this awfulness. No kidding. We have seen werewolves, axe knights, armored knights, blue dragons, all kinds of nastiness out here that normally, especially trying to walk through that desert, really to get anywhere, especially to get to Rimuldar and get those keys on up2ng's side. I mean, they're having a hard enough time getting through it with hurt more as it is.
Yeah, if this had level 16 hurt more, we'd be calling this through Labor Day. And before chat reacts, that's called hyperbole.
Just a smidge.
Yes.
So, 40 minutes into the seed here, we did have that early lead and experience for up2ng, the early lead and exploration from Jjschmidt, who now, I believe, has not yet confirmed the lack of coordinates existence, but, at this point now, it's pretty darn close. I mean, up2ng, again, we know that all he has to do is go through Tablet Cave to find that harp. He doesn't know that yet. He's putting that off, probably wants to wait for that outside spell. But aside from that, I mean, this is looking pretty even. I would say this is about everything that we would have expected from players of this caliber up to this point.
Most certainly. I will admit I was a bit distracted by chat. As
It's easy to get distracted by Paradox.
It is. So JJ, moments away from finding out the bad news of lack of coordinates.
Bad news?
Well, okay. The news, I suppose. Huey Lewis is somewhere else.
Huey Lewis is somewhere else, but if they had coordinates, there would be a red dragon in their very near future. Given the way that this map lays out, unless it's like 0-0, might be a tough ask there to go rescue that princess, get that GPS. We'd have probably no hurt more coordinates in a seed like this. Labor Day would be we'd be going through
Wouldn't
Labor
be too
Day.
far off, yeah.
Think we might be in a new part of this overworld here for up2ng. No, I think actually Jjschmidt might have been on this peninsula before, so going to take a bunch of damage through some swamp tiles. Going to confirm that there's nothing over there. Not a whole lot of map to explore left for these runners, I do believe.
Well, there's Sharlock. We had noted that it hadn't been seen earlier, and, well, there it is now.
Not to be one up by Paradox, looks like DH Stone's going to be here all week.
And up2ng getting his torch from the Stones of Sunlight cave.
Jjschmidt may be wanting to grind for another level. Both of these runners probably just begging for hurt or heal more as soon as they can get it. Unfortunately, not sure exactly what he was expecting. I do believe he was walking back and forth on those desert tiles, but for his troubles, he does find a red dragon, does get sent back to start.
Oh, so close to level 12, and this Stroll Magi will do it.
42 minutes in, though, there it is. There is our final destination.
So here we go. 3, 4, 8, and 5.
Chat confirming that the totals we have up to this point: 78 power, 43, 73, 59. Wow, that's convenient.
Well, at least once you get the rainbow drop, you don't have far to go.
Absolutely not. The jerk has found himself some prime real estate here in the middle of this swamp, right outside the Dragon Lord's castle. So, you know, now all up2ng, a little bit ahead in the exploration here. All he really needs to get that Sharlock access is he needs that token, and then just needs to go back and get that harp out of Tablet Cave, and he'll just be just about ready.
Well, the token has eluded us thus far.
Beta Strip wondering where Hawksesson Mountain is. Well, here's Jjschmidt. If I am not mistaken, this is that cave. Yes, it is. This is the cave that up2ng got blocked out of just moments ago. It is Mountain Cave. I suspect this cave is going to have at least one, if not multiple, items that they've been searching for the last 20 minutes or so.
A little tripped up there. Thank goodness for the Radiant spell. Now, Beta Strep noting the potential, dare I say, schadenfreude, that this could be hilarious if there's no token, no Erdrick's anything, as we have wings here, That would mean that the token is in Hawksness if that were the case, and both Erdrick's sword and armor would be in Charlotte Castle. Well, we've got gold here. There's 3 more chests. There's another gold chest. Well, there's Erdrick's token.
Maybe thinking a couple of times here, did I put that dragon scale on or not? Definitely didn't want to drop that death necklace, but thought about it for a little bit here. Going to get stopped and get his 172 experience points here before finding that last chest here. Up2ng, meanwhile, coming up on the mountain cave himself, right on Jjschmidt's heels.
And that is empty. I believe that is an herb. I haven't seen JJ's inventory recently to see if he has full herbs, full keys, anything of that nature.
I believe Smashy, when he checked his items earlier, he had to drop something for that Erdrick's token. Maybe saw the herb count there. Seems pretty convinced it was an herb. So now the question again remains, do we have a guaranteed item in Hawksness with the 2 curse belts that we've seen, with the knowledge that there are no coordinates? We could be looking, I believe, at either the sword or the armor there, and well, which one do you hope it is?
Oh, man. I mean, given the... Well, it's kind of a pick your poison. I mean, given the lack of defense that they've had and how much swamp I've seen, I almost would kind of want it to be the armor.
I mean, I wouldn't mind the armor myself, but do we want Jet or do we want Ultimate Troll here? It's one or the other, 50-50, folks.
Oh, yes. If it's chat, they definitely want the sword to be in Hawksness. They want you to have to try to find that Erdrick's armor, traipsing through those damage tiles, the barrier tiles, 15 HP damage per step.
Oh, Jake Hopper noting, I had missed this myself. It seems that the Armored Knights have the Hurt spell, and so maybe that's why up2ng was trying to go for those heals earlier. Now up2ng making his way to that very last chest, does have that token in hand, and maybe after this, will finally go back in and get his harp out of Tablet Cave.
Well, that hurt spell seems to be pretty minimal, maybe about 25%, because the Armored Knight just keeps on swinging. Well, there's the hurt spell, but it might be too little. Well, it's enough to get the hurt more off. And to answer the question in chat, yes, with the latest version of the Dragon Warrior Randomizer, Erdrick's armor can be in a treasure chest in Charlock. So that could be a little challenging with, especially with low HP.
Low HP, currently not having that heal more. Wow, 3 HP, 5 MP remaining, fires off that last hurt more, picks himself up 172 experience, and looks like he might try to walk out of here, but no, this Armored Knight is going to send him back for sure.
And you notice we're 49 minutes in, and these two are just separated in experience by 13.
Nest Cardinality, the legend himself, joining us in chat, saying, I wouldn't even mind if the sword's in Charlock, it's the armor that's a big deal. Absolutely. I think the best outcome now, as we do see Hawksness on Jjschmidt's side, Axe Knight armor. That's what I'm going to call right now. Let's see if it's true.
Oh, Stone Man.
Gonna take a little bit of time here to pick at this thing with that hand axe. Even with all the power they have in their back pocket, these things can roll, I believe, up to 151 hit points. So really gonna need to manage those resources, manage that sleep. There's a nice Kaishin no Ichigeki. Takes it out with one blow. What do we have?
It's the sword.
There we have it, folks. Strap in. We're going to be here a while.
Oh, man. So there's the added offense, but oh boy. Yeah, right now a leather armor for Jjschmidt. Yeah, the crowd hyped up for the Sherlock Erdrick's armor as here comes level 13. 2 power, 20 response speed, 31 hit points, and 1 magic point.
Well, that's going to help in the very near future.
It's as if the game knew, okay, yeah, you got to go into Sherlock. Ish, you might need some defense and HP. Here you go.
Sorry about that. Here's your compensation prize. So now I do believe, at least here on Jjschmidt's side, he knows what that find. You know, that armor's got to be in Sherlock. Everything else is ruled out. He has not yet found that shrine cave, but we know that it is waiting for him on the other side of the swamp. Just needs to go over there and find it. Up2ng just needs to go find that harp. Then when he finds Hawksness, he'll confirm that himself. So with all this information now, what's your play? You know, if you get all the items together, knowing all the information you have, do you just go straight in and go for it? Do you grind a little bit? What are you looking for at this point?
What do I know? I was eliminated from the tournament last night. My advice isn't any good.
Also, dot forfeit isn't a valid answer, not in this case. Although one might consider it. I think
I do thank
here
you,
on the
chat. You're too
coast.
kind.
Sorry, what's that?
I was thanking chat for giving me a little bit of praise. You are too kind.
Hey, I mean, 2-1, 1-1, whatever that final score was, it's better than 0-0.
I ended up going like Chuck Woolery, 2-2.
There you go. 2 wins in the back pocket. Plenty of experience here from my co-commentator. He knows what he's doing, folks.
Well, let's not spread dirty rumors here.
Exclamation point code?
You bet it is. All right, JJ is going to head on down to get those bonus keys. And up2ng going to fall short to the Stone Man.
Gonna delay that bad news just a little bit longer, but very likely gonna go right back and check that once more sleep spell. Not quite enough, but knows where it is, knows what it is that he has to do. Meanwhile, Jjschmidt here, I do believe he is in the swamp cave trying to make his way through to the other side. No, is he in the grave right now?
Yeah, JJ is in the grave. He is making his way deep into the grave, but has already gotten the first of the 2 magic keys deep in the grave.
So he hadn't actually finished this seed or finished this one out yet. Did not actually have the full knowledge that Erdrick's armor is in Sherlock, but will find the ultimate bad news here momentarily.
Yep, then the annoyance factor will grow.
up2ng here. Can't remember if he's fished out this treasure chest or not. Thought maybe he was going for that little bit of extra info there, but no. Maybe just wanting to top off that HP and MP before his next foray over towards Hawksnest. That max MP looking a little bit low for level 13.
So Smashy noting up to NG got a raw deal against the Snowman. Started with 19 MP, missed a sleep, hit a sleep, missed a hurt more, hit a hurt more, missed a hurt more.
Very unfortunate outcome there. Knew that he wasn't quite going to have the resources to just power on through.
Yeah, the Snowman, you have a slightly better than 50-50 chance of hitting the hurt more on it. The Snowman has a 7 out of 16 resistance, so about a 56% likelihood of hitting it.
All right, well, now with a lot more resources in his back pocket, up2ng returns for his revenge, just going straight into those hurt more strats, doesn't want to pick away at it with the hand axe. Misses the first one, lands the second. This is a sleepy boy that we have here so far.
Gets the third, takes it out, and there is the big stick.
Now, I do believe at this point, both of our runners have basically all the information they could expect to have at this point. Jjschmidt finishing off his intentional death warp in that grave. Still doesn't quite know exactly where the harp is, but looks like he may be going back to that opposite continent, knows that that's where he needs to go to find what he needs to find. And maybe up2ng here with the slight information advantage, maybe he just cruises into grind for heal more mode.
Possibly, although up2ng having not gone into the tablet cave, he might have gone here thinking this was where the harp was.
That is true. One more chest for up2ng to check and hope. Actually, no. No, at this point, because the harp can't be in Sharlock, it has to be on the world map. So if that's the only location he hasn't checked yet, he knows by process of elimination it has to be there. So knows that that's there waiting for him, knows where to go turn it in, knows how to put all that together. And so it's just a matter of when does he want to actually go into Sharlock and look for that armor.
Well, he's got the dedicated grind going here, but he still has a little bit of erranding to do. He's got to pick up the harp. He's got to go then over to the other continent, trade it in for the Staff of Rain, as Jjschmidt is doing right now. And then all the way back over at Sharlock is where that rainbow drop is.
And that's something that I don't believe at this point Jjschmidt has seen, so little tiny bit of a lead there, having that Staff of Rain in hand, but does, I believe, still need to find Sharlock, still needs to find the Jerk, but we do know they are paired up together. So maybe, just maybe, Schmidt, he's got the chance to just grab that rainbow drop and head right on in.
But it'll use a lot of resources. This is not going to be a one dive go, I don't believe.
Oh, absolutely not. No, we're definitely going to be here for a while, especially with this max MP being what it is. Both runners closing in on 14. up2ng not going to get it here. Will get one more Stone Man. Will likely just jump right into another battle, take the intentional death. If Jjschmidt can take out this blue dragon, though, I do believe that's enough.
Yeah, says 5625 is the number, and JJ taking out that blue dragon for 180 experience and level. Ooh, a lot of good stuff at level 14.
Believe I saw 13, 5, 19, 5, and a spell. Wow, looking at the stats here, all I got is exclamation point mass.
Yeah. Look at that mass, indeed. Yes.
135 attack power. We are looking for heal more, and we're going to be packing a punch. This could be a pretty decent walk down for that armor.
Yeah, the defense, though, is in the 40s. So, not exactly tanky.
No, and that is a good point to bring up. You know, we got that large shield at this point. Definitely not going to be looking for that long and complicated silver shield grind. You know, JJ sitting on the leather, up2ng sitting on the chain. They are both sitting on enough gold for that half plate. Now, I don't think we've seen it just yet, but we know where Caitlyn is. And so that's a pretty decent shot at trying to get what is also a pretty decent upgrade.
And to answer the question in chat, the Silver Harp is in the Tablet Cave, which is just north of Tantagel Castle. up2ng had opted to avoid it until now, and I believe was waiting until acquiring the outside spell to save the 20 seconds of having to backtrack. 20 to 25 seconds. Ooh. Did I see Axe Knights with sleep?
I missed that. I was looking to see what up2ng was going to do here. I did want to confirm. Oh, tries to return. A little bit of a mismenu there. I did want to confirm that that was the outside spell and not something else. But wow, if those have sleep, man, Sharlock is just looking nastier and nastier.
Well, I think based on what up2ng had checked to answer the question or to observation in chat, I think that up2ng would have known that armor could not have been in tablet at that point, because that would have meant that the Silver Harp would have had to have been in Sharlock Castle, and that cannot be.
Though it is an interesting point that if it had been the armor and JJ had gotten that, you know, his exploration, he went and did that, I want to say about 5 or 6 minutes in, that could have made the entire difference in this race. So little bit of a gamble, but in this sense it paid off, because again here, hour and 2 minutes into the seed, and the experience is what, 400 off. Level is exactly the same, knowledge just about the same here. This is still very, very close.
Yeah, at the moment, the slight edge goes to Jjschmidt in terms of errands and things needed to do. Plus, JJ has that fairy flute, which up2ng never extracted from the Tantagel treasury. So if there are any golems that tend to be problematic in Sharlock, that's an advantage that JJ might have.
That is a very good point. I hadn't thought about that. up2ng checking out that treasury. You know, they both checked out that treasury very early on, did decide Jjschmidt to reset and keep that key. up2ng made the Garenham play. And so, yeah, not wanting to go back and get that flute. I wonder if he forgot it's there. Maybe he goes back for it before going into Sharlock, but could make a clutch difference here for sure.
Well, there's also a good point by Lorgon in chat. Golem seems to be the one thing that they can run from in Sharlock. At least you would think. Because once you get into Sharlock, agility, it's all made up.
It is, in fact, just a number.
Just a suggestion.
66, nothing to rely on here. However, that 135 attack power, once they get that heal more spell, guaranteed within the next 2 levels, you will pick up any spells that you don't yet know at level 16, not too far away. If they were to get any more power at this point, I mean, you're going to start, it doesn't matter what stands in your way, you're going to start hacking through it like butter.
So now this is interesting. up2ng is going to go for the red dragon here. He's just going to try to out-muscle it at this point.
This is an interesting play. He's still a little bit far away from the next level. I don't think that he can get it in just one go. However, with this power, he can, I believe, 3 or 4 shot them. So now taking a quick look at his stats here, trying to decide what it is exactly he wants to do. Meanwhile, all the information here picked up by Jjschmidt. What's he going to decide to do? Here's the play.
Up to NG, I don't know if he's calculating, but 22 to 45 should be about the attack range with this 135 damage. So maybe he figures at full HP that he can outlast the 3 to 4 shots. Maybe 5 if he rolls unlucky. But 65 and change minutes in, Jjschmidt enters in and gets DL2 breath by a Star Wyvern. Oh, wow.
What did we just say about agility a moment ago?
Yeah.
That is an oof. Guaranteed. Star Wyverns on the first 3 floors. Gotta go through those barrier tiles step by step. This just gets longer and longer. The light recedes further and further down the tunnel.
Oh, man. So maybe up to NG, giving a more dedicated grind to wait for Healmore might be the play here, or is he heading over to Sharlock now? Well, I mean, he's in this area of Armored Knights. That seems to be the ideal spot here.
Yeah, we've seen quite a few Armored Knights here. Jjschmidt did choose to make this grind before, and with Wraith Knights here as well, guaranteed one shot, 2 of those basically as good as a single Armored Knight. This is surprisingly efficient given the options that are available.
Nice crit. And a blue dragon for another 100 NIT. You only get 1 full yell per stream. It gets redundant after that.
Can I cash in some channel points for just one more?
Not on this channel. I had to think about it, though.
So up2ng maybe was thinking about the, the interesting thing about having that particular grind option available to you in that swamp cave is that once you spend that key, you don't need to go back to an inn. Normally you might go to Hawk's Nest, hurt more some Axe Knights. You might go somewhere else and look for your grind spot and then go back and get your resources back. And I think what up2ng was kind of counting on there was being able to use his resources efficiently and then just take the intentional death warp, because you don't have to, you just take the intentional death warp, you get all your HP and MP back from the king, but now deciding not to do that and has to go find his own grind spot.
All right. Since McGrew redeemed some highlight my message in there, fine. So that was up to NG getting 180 experience.
600 points well spent. Thank you, McGrew.
I can't say no to the creator of the game. I just can't do it too many times. I gotta save this radio voice.
Alrighty, now meanwhile the grind paying off here for Jjschmidt will be rewarded with level 15. Let's see what they get. Will it be another big beefy power level? Absolutely not.
0111. We've got the binary code level at level 15.
With Healmore in the back pocket, though, that does reopen Red Dragons as an option. It does open the Sharlock dive as an option. This is going to be, I believe, a pivotal point here for both of our runners. up2ng going to take this Stone Man out. He's going to be basically one mob away from just a pretty monumental decision at this point.
So 158 experience away from level 15, and that heal more for up to NG. This green dragon will not do it. Now just 23 away.
Kind of curious as to what exactly is going through up2ng's mind right here. Maybe because he's closing in on 15, might be considering walking back to where he knows that Rainbow Drop Cave is waiting for him, but not really settling in on a particular grind spot. Jjschmidt, meanwhile, went to Rimeldar, got his resources back, and is heading... I am not too familiar with this map. Not sure where exactly he's going here. Doesn't seem to be returning to his favorite grind spot.
So up to NG running into the red dragon. Not able to get the level. And a good point from Ruler2112. JJ in the town trying to buy armor, and there was none for sale. It was all weapons and a large shield.
Looks like up2ng now taking advantage of his death warp. Going to go ahead and go through this swamp cave with the mobs here. Oh, okay. He's going to go ahead and take out a red dragon here, or at least going to attempt to. It's going to give him some decent news here. You know, he's going to get that heal more spell. It's about the only good news he's going to get, but... Now, does he choose to stay as 1 hour, 12 minutes? No, I'm sorry. This is the second entry. I do forgot. He did get bopped out of here before, but yes, back into Sharlock goes Jjschmidt.
Yeah, he's got heal more. He's going to stick around here.
Not afraid of those Star Wyverns, not afraid of that DL2 breath, bravely stepping forward, going down to 4 HP before casting that heal more. Wants to preserve as many resources as he can.
Gets away.
Ooh. Saw his life flashing before his eyes there, I'm sure. But goes ahead and just decides to run, gets rewarded with his efforts. Going to go ahead and make his way down, bonking his way in the dark here.
Oh, and there's the Axe Knight with sleep. Oh, gosh. Up to NG, maybe making the smart play here, giving the dedicated grind to 16. He's already caught up in experience, and... Here again, they're separated by 14 experience, 73 minutes and change into this seed.
I'm sorry, but look at it, Jjschmidt seed. Looking at his screen here. Do we have an Armored Knight, an Axe Knight with sleep guarding the armor? Is that what I'm seeing here? This is looking a little bit French vanilla, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but it sure as heck isn't in Sharlock Castle in the vanilla game. If that's the case, that's your Rocky Road flavored vanilla right there.
All right, so yes, with that Heal More spell in hand, going to go ahead and settle in for a grind here, maybe looking for a little bit more agility before making that dive, maybe also looking for a little bit more MP for some more resources. Wow, bold play there, counting his hits, trying to get the absolute most out of his resources here before getting sent back. Can he take out one more red dragon?
Nice crit on up to NG's side to squeeze out one more red dragon before taking the death here.
A very efficient death it was. Back attack before he was ready. But this was all part of the plan. I imagine he's going to go right back and finish off this level.
And remember how about 2 minutes ago I mentioned, not even 2 minutes ago, that the experience differential was about 14? Now it's close to 1,000.
And this is what happens when you make these decisions. Again, critical decision point here, level 15. Guarantee, we saw the heal more. We do see finally Jjschmidt does decide to run away. Interesting observation from chat. Might just decide to kill them outright. Jjschmidt deciding no, he wants to try his luck here and get as far as he can with the resources that he have, but unfortunately dwindling quickly. And yes, I do believe this experience lead for up2ng going for the safer play is only going to grow.
JJ using his last heal more and is going to fight through this green dragon.
Lorgon noting low MP armor dive with scary monsters, low agility is a yikes, and leather armor to boot.
Well, he has made it all the way down and is on the 7th floor. Meanwhile, level 16, 6, 1, 13, 5, and the remaining spell.
up2ng says, nope, that's not good enough for me, but here we go. Jjschmidt going through, looking through these torches, finds a magic key, finds a torch. There it is! Well, once more for Jjschmidt, thy wit, thy courage, thy gambles, thy luck have served thee well, and you are awarded with Erdrick's armor. That is huge.
And up2ng's going to 17 here, it looks like. Or maybe to 16 and a half at least.
Again, didn't see a lot of MP before, on that level. Not sure exactly what the max MP is. It was looking pretty low going in. Haven't seen any big gains so far. up2ng maybe thinking that with all the resources he has at his disposal, maybe the play here is get as many of these red dragons as he can and then just grind down for that armor. We've got the death necklace in the back pocket here and just, monstrous amounts of HP. Got to be cracking the 150 mark at this point. Could try to go for it all at once, maybe.
Well, I did say earlier that it'd be highly unlikely that it would be a one-time dive through Sharlock, and up2ng seems determined to prove me wrong.
He's definitely going to do everything he can, and while we got up2ng preparing for a one and done, Jjschmidt giving us up here in the commentators booth and the viewers at home a little bit of bad news for up2ng as this Sharlock is looking pretty nasty, trying to make it through this blue dragon with the last of his resources, does just barely make it. Ooh. Wants to see what is waiting for him on that spike tile.
It's a stone man.
Had the 2 MP for the
quick as he can.
Unfortunate there. Had the 2 MP. Could have maybe gone for that sleep stone wall Caxon. You're killing me, chat.
Well, gotta give credit to Cami and Renikai, our tracker here this evening on SpeedGaming. Good with tracking and good with the quips as well.
Now, with all the information that he needs and also the armor as well, gonna go ahead and I would be fairly surprised here if up2ng didn't decide to just walk right out. No, is going back to finish this off. Very interesting set of decisions here.
I don't mind this play by up2ng. We've already seen a level of 0, 1, 1, and 1. You don't want to think, oh, I'll be fine. I'll go get a level. And then you get another one of those on the way down. You go, this isn't going to be enough.
This is one of those situations. Yeah, it definitely looking for that one dive on the table, maybe hoping that this next level gives a lot of MP and he can restore it and head on his way. MP really being, agility, obviously the one thing that's lacking, but with power and HP so high, you really can't just hack away in 17. Here it comes.
So 143. Now I'm going to do some interesting calculations here. Well, he's going back for it. I mean, if you were to use the death necklace, you'd be at 153. That'd be 13 to 26. You'd have 9 attacks. If you can make it down there, it's possible. But wow, this is... I mean, look at that. With Erdrick's armor on a Jjschmidt side, he has 74 defense.
Yeah, at 74 defense, I do believe that the Dragon Lord, his breath, obviously one of the more feared things in that particular fight, doing 42 to 48. But even that physical attack, I believe, can hit up to 51.
Well, and here's the other thing on up2ng's side. Going to level 18, you're looking at a target number of 14,250. From where you were at 12,000, that's just 9 of these red dragons.
That's true, and as that HP keeps growing, these red dragons keep getting easier and easier. I'm getting some unfortunately low rolls here. You're looking at the point where you could maybe even two-shot these things. So going back and really trying to be as efficient as you can here, but unfortunately these back attacks just keep adding up.
Well, the red dragon can have as little as 80 and as much as 106 HP. And right now with this 143, you're looking at a damage range of 24 to 49. So on average, you're 3-shotting them. Best case scenario, 2-shot.
And unfortunately, bad luck really getting the side of up2ng in this particular fight. He got back attack to start, 2 dodges, and just like that, he is out of resources, but going to go ahead and try again. Knows that if he can get through just one more, it's just about guaranteed on the next go-around. Really, really, really wants that extra MP, any extra stats that he can possibly get. Well, this first trip into this third attempt into Charlotte going better than the first one for Jjschmidt as he lands a nice Kaisha no Ichigaki on the Green Dragon, dispatching it immediately. And wow, the slight agility boost he got at 16, not helping out too much here. Star Wyvern brings fire, very grateful for that armor, but the Axe Knight says, no, you're not getting away from me that easily.
Oh, and there's another sleep. And Dunyan rings.
You picking up those from chat?
No.
Well, that's a new one on me, but unfortunately for Jjschmidt, maybe not his favorite flavor, as that does send him back to start almost before he can get off the first floor. And looks like he just wants to go right back, content here to just take his chances. Got the armor the first time around, going to go ahead and just count his lucky stars. Not sure exactly where he wants to go. But meanwhile, up2ng did take the intentional death, is going to get through this red dragon. Just one more to go for 18. Will it be go or will it be a no?
So to answer the question in chat, or all things considered, are we pretty much tied here? Let's see what 18 brings, and this will tell the tale considerably more. So we have 6 more power, 0 agility, 2 speed, 24 MP. There's the MP. 18 looks to be the level, and up2ng is immediately casting outside. And I think this is where he's going to make the dive.
That's it. Don't know exactly what the agility is at there. I think it's about 86 last time I checked, maybe 88. 3 extra heals in the back pocket. 6 attack, gonna be huge. And again, with that HP, probably looking at about, I want to say 110, 115 after he throws on that Death Necklace. Going to be very, very comfortable here for that GL2 fight. The only thing that remains to be seen is how far down can he get? How quickly can he get there? What will his resources look like in about 6 or 7 minutes from now?
We had a brief flash of the stats. I was trying to get a look at them. So he's got a max MP of 100, a max HP of 140. 149 on the attack, 65 on the defense with that chainmail.
Don't remember off the top of my head the difference between chainmail and the Erdrick's armor. I want to say 25. That puts him in the upper 80s, I do believe.
Oh, goodness. I want to say that the chainmail is... I'm flipping through all of my notes here. Chainmail is 10. Erdrick's armor is 28, so that's an 18 differential. So that would put him up to 83.
Still not quite at that mark where you would want, where you'd be comfortable attacking at 49, but... in a seed like this, it's tough. Do you make the gamble? What kind of plays do you make? What decisions do you make? up2ng making a decision right now, throws out the heal more, does not know yet what awaits him in this castle, making his first dive. How will it go?
Well, this is interesting. JJ is trying to selectively get 17 on the way down, and is only 199 experience away from doing so. A very gutsy run with just 23 HP on the Green Dragon. This time unable to get away.
We knew this one was going to be tough and really taxing the resources here. Maybe committing to an armor escape and come right back. Oh, no.
Oh, wow. Well, this certainly gives a little bit more breathing room here for up2ng, who is midway through the 3rd floor. But here is the Star Wyvern. There's the DL2 breath. Is able to get away the 2nd time.
Decides not to spend the heal more here. Going to start chowing down on those herbs. No magic armor in sight. Not getting that heal walking that we're all so used to at this point. But runs away from one. Can he run away from another? Yes. Going to make it down to the next zone.
Well, he knows that if he burns another heal more here, that this run, as far as a grab the armor and go for game, is shot. Or likely shot.
Well, 140, what are we sitting on here again?
He's at 149. He's at 149, so the DL2, it'll be 12 to 24. It's an average of 10 attacks, and right now he has 9 heal mores, so it's close. But there's a lot of double potential with 140 HP, so maybe he's all right.
He might be all right.
There's one or two more, then it's getting dicey.
There's still that death necklace to think about.
But yes, chat noting it's hilarious that rarely do you see a Sharlock dive with a chainmail. Just let that sink in for a moment.
Situation you'd only see in this year's tournament, as this is when we introduce this flag for the armor. Now up2ng, bypassing the judges table, has made it down here to this final floor, is counting on all his lucky stars, counting on all his rabbit feet, counting on all his fingers and toes, crossing them all, hoping that the armor is here, checking each chest. Will it be the last one he looks at? I do believe it's bottom left here. He will get
bottom left. It's the $50 chest. And there's the Edric's armor. He's not going to bother going for the torch or magic key that's there, and is just ready to go for game. To answer the question, chat, the longest that a Dragon Warrior randomizer has gone has been well over 3 hours.
Yeah, that's happened a couple of times. I want to say in between the first tournament and here now, I believe our 5th. We had a 3 hour grind between Nestcard and Nestcard and Jjschmidt77, I do believe.
Here we go. I was trying to find it. It was from the bonus bracket finals of the inaugural tournament on October 30th, 2016. It was certainly Mischief Night indeed, as Jjschmidt defeated Nest Cardinality with a winning time of 3 hours, 21 minutes, and 14 seconds.
Oh dear, and up2ng's Dragon Lord fight starts with a back attack. Bad tidings indeed. Just gonna chew right through, not stopping to use any herbs. Will we get the double? No. Here the fight starting with a 13 on the lower end, but wow, gets the opening double. This is huge. 33 damage total so far.
And another 20. My goodness, we're up to 53. Now, the Dragon Lord can have anywhere from 150 to 165. And another double. We're at 68.
Chat seems convinced this is an easy win, and with attack power and HP as high as it is, up2ng definitely knows what he's doing here, knows how to play the odds, and we'll have to see.
Well, another double there. We're up to 112. Still has 5 heal mores. Yeah, this is barring a miss menu in the bag. 127. Oh, another 22. 149. This next attack could do it, and more than likely will. Yep, 165. That is the max. That is going to do it. So up2ng is going to advance here in the upper bracket, and we'll take on the winner of Hyro Fellows and Guelph 35. Get out your GGs in chat. Up2ng going to take first place here tonight with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 34 minutes, and 58 seconds.
A legendary finish indeed. Lots of tough choices in this seed, lots of gambles, but in the end, it all pays off with the level 18 grind. He did it. Armor in Sharlock's seed, and he pulled off the one and done. That is extremely tough.
Well, I'm going to be eating a little bit of crow as I I thought, oh yeah, there's no way that we're going to just have a single dive and go. Well, that's why up2ng's in the top 10 and I'm not in the tournament. What do I know?
It's a tough one to call. When our armors in Sharlock, anything goes. We've basically seen the best and the worst of it here. Jjschmidt looking for his victory here. It's going to be a little bit more difficult for him at level 17, but going to go ahead and start his Dragon Lord 2 fight. Don't think he's, well, as long as the Star Wyvern doesn't get in his way. Oh dear.
No. Nope. Oh, is he going to put he's putting the death necklace on!
I think that's the best play he thought he could make at this time. Wants to sacrifice the potential for double attacks. Almost said yes, got saved. Saved from the soft lock by the bell. Starts out his fight 32. No herbs left. Does get it in 2. Hopefully no back attack here.
26.
If you thought up2ng rolled high, you ain't seen nothing yet, folks.
46. 64.
Oh, I hear Dragon Lord counting.
Yep. We're up to 80. up2ng joining us in the booth here. We're at 101 on JJ's side.
40 MP left. He should be able to win this fight. Should be a lock here.
Nice. What level is he on?
123. He's on level 17. He put on the death necklace.
Nice. All right.
We're at
we had plenty of
40.
HP for it.
And 158, that was enough. So JJ going to finish, golly, only about 3.5 minutes behind, roughly. All said and done. Get out your GGs as Jjschmidt is going to fall to the bonus bracket, but certainly going to wreak some havoc there, as he is going to take second place in this race with an official SRL time of 98 minutes and 26 seconds.
3.5 minutes, finishing our runners in a very tough seed filled with very tough decisions, not the least of which was trying to dig that armor out of Sharlock Castle. This is absolutely the race I would have expected out of these two seasoned veterans. Please give those GGs up for both our runners.
GG JJ. Hopefully he'll pop in as well. I hope all the viewers are enjoying this. That was kind of a lot of suffering in this one.
The chat, not that I want to dime them out, but they definitely had their share of Schadenfreude. They were praying when you got to, well, both of you got to Hawksness, that it had that the Guardian had the sword and not the armor, and boy did the seed deliver.
Yeah. JJ, good game, man.
GG up to. It was a rough one.
I'm gonna have to see what happened to you, but I didn't really feel very. I wasn't very pleased with my own run, and I don't know if maybe it was just partially just things were going wrong, but felt like I got a little frazzled at times, especially in the very beginning. I don't know if I handled the early stages very well, the first 5 minutes, but oh well.
And that's actually up2ng. Definitely the first question I have for you. So very interesting start to this seed. So you had return, you had the key, and immediately you're bombarded with so many decisions because you made the walk up to Garenham, and Jjschmidt made a couple of different choices there, but exactly 90 seconds into the seed, you both check the treasury, don't find that key, immediately reset, and then you make the gamble for Garenham. Can you talk me through those decisions around 5 minutes or so, up2ng?
Yeah, I mean, I wish I had done things just like a little bit, more efficiently. Like the first time I went into Garenham, I probably should have done it, but I checked the shops. It was all intermediate equipment. And I was like, well, if we have to grind for it, now I know what to shoot for and stuff, and just kind of hoping if there's gold in the treasury, then, we'll have an early weapon or whatever. But, yeah, I mean, I think the best thing that we had in the treasury was like a cursed belt or something. I don't even remember what was in there, but it was pretty bad. So,
I can bring that up for you, up2ng. It was a fairy water, a dragon scale, a cursed belt, and the fairy flute.
Yeah, so I was thinking, maybe this fairy water will be good for something, but like, I mean, that wasn't really good enough to give up a key, I don't think. So then just right after that, I just figured, well, we should just maybe open the door behind Garenham, and I was fully prepared to just reset again, like if there was nothing in there, Even if it was like a quest item, I would reset if it was like the stones or something and just herbs or whatever. But there was gold there, and I already knew there was a hand axe in the shop, so I was like, that could be useful. And then, of course, we get hurt more like 2 levels later, so I don't know if it did me much good, but I don't know. Fortunately, Rimbledar wasn't that hard to find. I was very worried, like, if he had saved his key and I used mine and then just never found keys. That's always, like, a really big gamble, but I don't know. That's what I went with the hand axe. I figured that was a good play at the time.
Well, that was our early observation, was the use of the key versus the saving of the key. But in that process, one thing that had a lot of us scratching our heads, you'd checked the 3 chests in Garenham, gone and bought the hand axe, but never went to see what was in the back of Garenham.
Yeah, I tend to do that. I don't typically check basements until like I'm ready to fight stuff. Like I don't like if there's a key starting Tantagle, I don't check the basement there either on level 1. I'm just hoping that it's going to be a dungeon. I don't want to be like running into a dungeon on level 1 really. So that's just how I do it.
That was a gamble that paid off in both cases, with Tantagle's basement being the northern end of Swamp Cave and the back of Garenham being the grave in a vanilla-ish fashion.
So, JJ, did you hold on to the key then the whole time?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Well, at least it was early Hurtmore, so it probably wasn't too bad.
I was going to say, I was freaking out early, and then I thought I wasted some time getting to Hurtmore, but when you get Hurtmore at level 3, it doesn't much matter how you started. So,
yeah. In fact, like a lot of things can backfire. You can run around doing a lot of stuff, and then it was like, well, if we had just gotten a couple of levels, it's Hurtmore, so... Yeah, kind of weird. There was kind of a lot to decide in that start, and I don't know. That probably could have gone anyway, really.
There was just a ton going on at the start, and it was hard to find a good line. So
did you Did you make a separate dive for the armor, or did you just do it all at once?
Yeah, with MP solo, I went and grabbed it on a.
Okay. I was like on my way there. I couldn't even get to the castle with like any MP left. I was just like, all right, well, that's not going to work.
Yeah, that was worth it. You were both pretty even throughout, and it was very back and forth. But that was where things took a turn, was the decision of, okay, who's going to go into Sherlock and go for the armor first? JJ opted to do that. up2ng, you stuck around in the Swamp Cave and worked on that Red Dragon grind and just got level after level. And once you got to 18, you felt that was satisfactory enough to just efficiently go into Sharlock and pick up the armor and go for game in one go. That turned out to be the difference.
So the first thing that happened was like we didn't have heal more yet, so I wasn't like that convinced that the Red Dragon grind was going to go well with like a chainmail and he was going to be hitting me for like 50 or whatever. So with no heal more, and so then I was like, well, maybe I should just try and get into Sharlock and try for the armor, and then I made like one run up that way. I couldn't even get to Sharlock. I just like ran out of MP. I was running into Armored Knights and stuff in the overworld. So then luckily, like during that foray, like that little attempt to try and go for the armor, which I didn't even get into the castle, we picked up heal more, and I was just like, well, I don't know. I feel like I'm just not going to make it down to the bottom, so I might as well just grind instead. I don't know. What happens then is you have to like get an extra level. So I went to 18. And fortunately for me, it was a very big level. We got like 3 extra heal mores on 18. That's what I needed.
Yeah, there was a 24 MP gain at level 18, and that turned out to be the difference.
Oh, you did 8. Wait. Yeah.
Yeah, because I never got the armor. So I had to like get an extra level.
I got
you.
So I started diving at 16 with the armor. I thought math.
Oh yeah, with the armor, it's more reasonable. Yeah, the numbers, we had a lot of attack power for a while, so yeah, totally understandable. I can't wait to kind of watch it and compare like how it went, because I mean, the one time, like I said, the one time I went, I ended up with 0 MP. I hadn't even made it into Sharlock. It was just like, well, I don't know how I'm gonna get to the bottom. So
yeah, I burned 2 dives at 16, and then when I was so mad when 17 came and it actually had 18, it just one thing that was just not working for us, the whole seed. And when that came, I was like, man, if I'd have sat down there waiting on Red Dragons, I'd have got like 2 agility, which would have done nothing for anybody.
Right. Lavkin, I'm glad we pulled you out of retirement, man.
Sorry,
I see you're signed up for all sorts of stuff now, so it's awesome. Thanks for doing it for us.
Thanks for hopping back in.
Hey, big shout outs to Jjschmidt pulling in the request for this one. It's been a lot of fun coming back into the commentator's booth. And while I'm here, I do have at least one more question for both of you. So, I mean, so many diverging choices over the course of the seed. It was so close all the way through. And then even up to the very final decision, we're sitting here up in the commentator's booth, people in chat are watching, and it's like the MP situation obviously was much better for you up2ng there at level 18, but even then, just the dive, it was so taxing on the resources, having to spend one on the outside. And I'm sitting here wondering, do you just throw on the death necklace and make it a much easier fight on the resources, or do you count on the doubles? Up2ng, you decided not to put it on. Can you talk us through that a little bit?
Like during the dive or during the fight? Because during the fight. Yeah, like once I got in front of the Dragon Lord, I think that it works out when, I don't know, there are some experts in chat that'll probably correct me, but once you get beyond a certain attack power, it becomes actually detrimental to put it on. And as far as I know, you just don't gain like enough extra swings because the attack power is already so high. So, so I just went for like the safe, like make sure we get some double attacks or whatever. I was fortunate enough to actually get there with 9 heal mores. I was a little worried it would have been worse because diving through Sharlock with no armor, it's just like you're heal moring all over the place. Like it was the first time I had seen Star Wyvern had DL2 breath, and like they got me like twice in there. I was like, well, there goes 2 heal mores like on the way down because you can't heal walk it back up.
Now, that definitely presented some challenges, and even if it did attack with the armor, you would have been up to 83 defense, and that wouldn't have been enough to defense break it. So it still would have been hitting not as hard as the DL2 breath, but still pretty hard.
Somewhere in the level 16 range or so, or maybe it was 15. I looked and we only still had 66 agility. So that was like another reason why I didn't like the idea of diving for the armor in advance. I just didn't know how I was going to get down there. And then fortunately, by 18, I had in the mid 80s, so I actually could run occasionally from some stuff. But
at 18, you had 86 agility. I took a pause of this when you had checked the statistics in Garenham just so I could crunch the numbers and kind of see where you were at. And yeah, with the 107 strength, 86 agility, 140 hit points. You had great chances for doubles, 100 MP. So you had, if you were able to keep it, 96 would have been 12 heal mores, but you ended up burning a couple along the way. 149 attack power and the 65 defense prior to Erdrick's armor, 83 once you got it. So it was dicey, but 18 seemed to be the way to go, dedicating that grind as opposed to going for the armor and making 2 separate dives, which is funny because you'll go back and listen, and early on I'll go, it looks like there'll be multiple dives to get this done, and then later I said, well, up to NG, it looks like it's going to make me eat crow by doing it all in one go.
We just happened to get a really nice big level there, so it made it a little easier. But yeah, I mean, this new version of Rando that we've been using in this tournament, this is kind of new. This thing that the armor could even be in Charlock, and now it can happen, about a quarter of the time. So it's like you have to. It's a seriously extra challenge. It's one of the hardest things that can happen, and so it makes it just stressful right until the very end. It was kind of a lot of suffering.
Well, now up to NG, so you move on here and you take on the winner of, 2 racers who are actually going on now over on another network. Hyro Fellows, the Cinderella story, upsetting the top seed of Mr. Holmes, and Guelph 35, the 17 seed. Any thoughts on those two?
I think I lost audio for a split second. What were the two names there?
So Guelph 35 was the 17 seed, and Hyro Fellows, the 32 seed.
Yeah, Hyro
the
Fellows
story. Yep,
yeah.
He beat Mr. Holmes.
Yeah, and I watched that race, and he played very well in that race too. And I know I've been in several weeklies where Guelph has actually won it or come in second in like a field of 15 or whatever. I mean, both of those guys are going to be very hard to match up with. So we'll see. Luckily, it's double elimination, so the pressure's off while you remain in the winner's bracket. So just try and enjoy it, and whoever wins at that race, I look forward to it.
Well, that started about 24 minutes ago, so we'll be directing people over there shortly here. Meanwhile, JJ Schmidt, you will be falling to the bonus bracket and taking on the winner of Bobski and Urson Deshore. That race happening tomorrow night right here on SpeedGaming, just 22 hours and change from now.
That's going to be a challenge for sure. I mean, it's getting down. It's the thing about kind of losing at this part of the bracket. There's nothing but good players down there, too. So.
Okay, and I'm being told from the production truck that while we don't have the capability of rating, I will say that after this, I would highly recommend heading on over to the Randomania network, as that is where this race is currently going on between Guelph 35 and Hyro Fellows. So you can kind of take a look at the potential competitors here for up to NG in the next round. They'll be coming up in a couple of weeks, as they'll be taking a respite for next week. So that'll certainly be a goodie. Any closing thoughts here before we wrap things up here on SpeedGaming?
I mean, I just want to say that once again, this was a heck of a seed, and you guys have both acknowledged that. I think you guys put on a wonderful race, and again, if I knew all the details of the seed and hadn't watched it myself, I would have never guessed that it would have been only a 3.5 minute difference. So, it is unfortunate that one person moves on and one person has to go down to the bonus bracket, but I think you both played wonderfully, and GG's to both of you once again.
Thanks a lot, Lavkin. I look forward to watching it, and appreciate the commentary from both of you guys and the tracking and restreaming. Definitely, that's a big part of the fun for these tournaments, I think. Hopefully all the viewers are enjoying it as well. So thanks, guys. Looking forward to the next one.
Yeah,
certainly.
Thank you guys very much.
So make sure to give both of these runners a follow. They gave you a heck of a race here tonight, up to NG and Jjschmidt77. Also make sure to show some love for the folks behind the scenes here. Obviously, thank you to the individuals, the masses of individuals among the Speed Gaming networks able to put everything together for all of us here. Also, Cami and Renikai taking care of the tracking for both of our runners here. And any last words, Lavkian, my co-commentator here?
Thanks again to Jjschmidt for pulling me out of retirement. I'm having a lot of fun, and look forward to seeing more races from both of you. And thanks, of course, to everyone behind the scenes. Thanks, of course, to Cami and Renikai doing a wonderful job on the tracking, and to our Restream team behind the scenes and NYC guy for setting this all up for us.
Looks like we're looking into the possibility of setting up a raid as we, things happening second by second, things changing second by second here, to say the least. So we're just riding the wave as it goes along here. So yes, one of the folks deep in with the Speed Gaming community, it looks like, is going to send us on over to Randomania. So we'll be joining there momentarily as it's Hierofellos taking on Guelph 35, the 32 seed Hierofellos, who upset the number 1 seed Mr. Holmes, who has been eliminated from the tournament, taking on Guelph 35, the 17 seed, who has thrown up a couple of upsets there as well. So certainly a goodie between the two of them here. And as we noted earlier, the winner of that race will be taking on up2ng, who finished ahead tonight. So certainly a lot going on here in the Dragon Warrior Randomizer tournament. Plenty still coming your way. And we thank you for joining us here. For all the folks behind the scenes, for our 2 runners, up2ng and Jjschmidt77, for our tracker, Cami and Renikai, for my co-commentator, Lavkian, I'm Ferran Burgundy saying until next time, stay classy, my friends, and more importantly, stay